talk about a special memory you had with your family members at home.
Let me begin right away. I remember throwing a housewarming party. By the way, I told you before. Housewarming party last Sunday. As a matter of fact, I can't really call it a housewarming party since it has been over 2 years since my wife and I moved to where we live right now. But let's call it a housewarming party. And we invited over my sister and my sister's boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And the vibe and atmosphere was light, casual, friendly throughout the party because we have a good chemistry among all the members there. And we have already met a couple times before we had this housewarming party. And the party actually started even before they came to our house because, we had to prepare for the party. And my wife and I divided the roles. So we took on each different role for preparing to throw a housewarming party. And my wife did what she's good at, and I did what I'm good at. So she was responsible for all the cooking and all the, putting beautiful, kind of fancy plates on the tables. And all I've got to do was cleaning up the house. I guess a lot harder than my wife's job. And even before they came to our house, we felt quite refreshed because our house was filled with a yummy, delicious scent of good food. And then I guess our places was cleaner or tidier than ever before because I tidied my room very, very hard. Not only my room, but also living room, kitchen, toilet, of course. And of course, any party would not be complete with drinking beverages, of course, alcohols as well. And we were kind of busy catching up each other. And while talking about a lot of things, we drank a lot. And there's a concept, first round, second round of drinking. So after we finished the first round drinking on the table, just by the kitchen, then we kind of briefly cleaned up the table. Then we moved to the living room to start having second round of drinking. And while we were drinking, we did board games, card games, while anyone losing the game, we called it drinking game. Losing the game, drinking a penalty shot. I'm not sure if this expression is proper or not. Anyway, that's what we did. But unfortunately, we got totally wasted after 2 rounds. And then, that's why I couldn't really help but take a half day off the next day. And I ended up with this, chronic pain all over on my back, neck, and jaw. And that's it. Yeah.
It's really good. There's a lot of detail,
a
lot of variety, good phrasal verbs and stuff that you would get good marks for it, for sure.
Thank you.
You definitely answered the question.
Mm-hmm. But while I was answering, I found myself kind of getting sidetracked to other topics. But I got back quickly.
Sure. The only thing I would maybe have added is just some reason maybe why you felt like it was a special moment.
Oh.
Just sum it up. Yeah. Because very specifically in the question it said special memory, right?
Oh.
And it sounds fun, but you haven't said anything about what it meant to you or something like that. So.
Okay, let me answer that right now. Why was it so special? It was special because it was our first time to invite my sister and her boyfriend at the same time. They gave us a housewarming gift, and my wife got a perfume, which my sister bought from her business trip to Paris, and I got a massage gun from her boyfriend. My sister must have told him that I've been suffering from my neck and back pain. That's why they bought this massage gun. So that's why this housewarming party was so special.
Sounds nice.
Yes, another good practice.
A few little things.
Yes, give me anything, please.
You self-corrected, which is great, but the very first sentence you said was, I'm remembering, and then you stopped and you said, no, I remember,
Yes.
which is better. Exactly
Okay.
right. You're right to correct yourself. I remember throwing a housewarming party or something. Did you say housewarming party or just house party?
Housewarming party.
So you have
That's what I meant.
moved
No.
recently?
No.
So a housewarming is when you have moved into a new place and everyone comes to celebrate your new house. But it's still housewarming to you even though you didn't move?
No.
So it's just like
Just
a house
house party.
party. I see.
Okay. By the way, is there any situation where I can say naturally, I'm remembering? Just out of curiosity. My guts say that I can't really say I'm remembering, but just out of curiosity.
Not really. I don't think it's very natural. If, let's say someone said, oh, try to remember something, and then you're in the middle of it and they're like, hurry up, and you'd be like, I'm remembering. But even that we wouldn't say. We'd say, I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
It's not the most natural.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it. You said the vibe atmosphere was light. The first thing I would say is the atmosphere is redundant if you use vibe. The atmosphere is redundant if you use vibe. The atmosphere is redundant if you use vibe. The vibe was friendly. Light is okay. We can definitely use that.
Okay.
Or the atmosphere. You don't need both. One is enough. We have good chemistry between the members there.
Between the members, instead of probably I must have said among.
Among would be better,
Okay.
but between is not the problem. Actually, I highlighted it because members.
Okay.
We're not really members at a party.
Okay.
Members of a club. So if you had your weekly book club, it was good chemistry between the members. It would be more like, it's very formal, but the word would be attendees.
Okay. Attendees. How about just among us?
Among us would be the most natural. Exactly right. And that's what I would have said.
Okay.
If I were you. Yeah, there was
So
good
we
chemistry.
have a good chemistry among us.
That's right.
Probably we have a good chemistry sounds much better and more concise and brief.
Sure, you don't even need to specify, right? Right. Everyone came. You've already introduced the subject, the people that were there, and then you just said, "Yeah, we have good chemistry. We know who you're talking about."
Okay.
So you're right.
Okay. Hey, at the moment, the phrase "hit it off" comes to my mind regarding this sentence, and I said we have a good chemistry. And do you think I could have also said we hit it off?
Hit it off. I'm going to check it, but it feels to me it's when you meet for the first time. Like, because we don't know, you and I, are we going to be, compatible as friends, or are we going to be, compatible as friends? Are we going to be, compatible as friends? Romantic doesn't matter. It could be both. So it's more like they meet and we either hit it off and become good friends, or we don't. But you have an already established relationship with these people. I would say that it's not the most natural, unless it's the first time.
That's a little bit different from what I knew before. And there's another question. It's kind of one of the typical questions that people ask about how couples are going. Let's say I have a girlfriend and we've been together for like 10 months. And my friend asked me, "Oh, are you guys compatible?" What word or expression do you think could replace compatible here? If I hadn't known that background of hitting off, I probably would have said we hit it off. But you said that hit it off is only used in the earlier stage of the relationship. Right. So what would you say in that context? Get along well?
Yeah, we get along well. We have a good relationship. We have good chemistry. What you used before, those kind of things.
Good chemistry.
Because that refers to like the state of your relationship. But if they said, "Oh, you've been dating for 10 months or something like that," you said, right? And they said, "Oh, like, why is your relationship so good?" Or "How is your relationship?" You could say, "We hit it off immediately," which gives a suggestion like right from the moment of meeting, it's been good. And that feeling, that good relationship continues. But because of hit it off, it makes me think back to that initial meeting moment.
Very complicated.
Right.
Do you have another feedback?
You said, all I've got to do was cleaning up the house. So we've mixed the tenses here. All I've got to do is referring to like what you're responsible for in the future, right? What you meant to say would be
I
all
gotta do?
I had to do.
All I had to. How about all I gotta do? Because got is also in the past tense, no?
No. All I gotta do is just a sort of slangy way to say the same thing.
Oh, I didn't know that. All I had to do was clean up the house. All I had to do was clean up the house. Is there any other way to say clean up in this context? Because I feel like I've used clean up quite a lot.
Tidy up.
Like, how about making the house clean?
Not as natural. I think the most natural is just clean up, honestly.
Okay. How about polish? I spend much time on polishing my house.
We don't polish a house. Polish is metal. Polishing your car works. Polishing a trophy. Polishing the cutlery. Polishing the cutlery. Polishing the cutlery.
How about polishing the, how do I call this, bottom of the apartment?
The floor.
Yeah, floor. Polish the floor.
You can polish floors. Maybe when you've been to like an airport or the train station or something, you see the cleaners driving their with the polishing.
Yes.
That's polishing the floor.
Okay. How to call that car machine? Polishing car? Polishing machine?
I have no idea. Okay. Let me see.
You know, come to think of it, we don't also have that in Korean.
A floor scrubber or floor polishing machine? It always looks very fun, right? I've always wanted to have that job. It sounds good.
I guess I can say that's another cushy job.
Exactly
Can
right.
I say that? Okay.
Although I don't think maybe it's not right. Maybe it's hard. The driving bit looks cushy.
Yes.
You said you tidied your room very, very hard. Hard goes with work, but it doesn't collocate with tidy.
How about I tied up my room thoroughly?
Better. That was what came to my mind. Thoroughly. I put a lot of effort into tidying up my room, something like that.
I put a lot of effort into tidying up my room.
But your room suggests it's your bedroom, actually, so it wouldn't be the most natural. Just tidying up my place would be
tidying
better.
up my place.
My place or my apartment. You listed here beverages and alcohol is uncountable.
Okay. No, I was very confused at the time.
If you wanted to specify different types of alcohol, that's how we would say it. Like we had many different types of alcohol. Catching up, we need another word.
Regarding this sentence, let me get one thing straight out. That's always confusing for me. When I want to say I have a lot of beers, can I also say I drink a lot? Because if I say I drink a lot, it might imply that I could have alcoholic beverages or also just non-alcoholic beverages. So that's why I'm confused about which one I should use when I want to say I have a lot of beers or I have a lot of soju. What would you say in this situation?
So what's the context? Are you talking about like physically having in your apartment? Because it sounds like if you say I have a lot of something, it's not about drink.
Let's say in a pub, I ordered a lot of beers and I drank all of them and I got wasted.
So in the past, specifically, then it would be I drank a lot of beers.
If I
would be better.
Drank soju, is there any general expression for drinking alcoholic beverages? Do you know what I mean?
We just say I drank a lot, even though it can mean non-alcoholic things. If you say it like this, as an adult, we would assume that we're talking about alcohol.
That's exactly what I was curious about.
Yeah, it's really just from the context.
Okay, so you wouldn't really say I drank a lot of alcohol.
We would say that.
Okay.
You can say that, but you don't have to. I drank a lot of alcohol last night. Sure.
Yeah, there is a certain word that replaces alcohol that has a similar meaning to alcohol, like I get that booze.
That's a British
booze,
word.
yes, booze.
I drank a lot of booze. Is that what you're thinking of?
How about liquor?
Liquor.
How does it pronounce liquor?
Liquor.
Oh, does it have the same meaning with alcohol?
I might be wrong, but my understanding of liquor is more like the stronger alcohols, the whiskey and the soju, and that's liquor, right? Rum and things like that. Whereas the things you put in mixers. Whereas like beer is a little bit different, but maybe it still counts. Instead of catching up each other, we were catching up with each other.
Catching up with each other.
I want to catch up with my friend. While we were drinking, rather than do board games, play would be better. We played some
board games and card games.
Played some board games and card games.
What was wrong here? I don't see any problem.
It's a gray area because technically maybe a perfume, I have many perfumes, but perfume is uncountable. So
Okay.
it would actually be better, most natural, at least from in British context. My wife got
Perfume.
perfume.
Ah, super confusing. Oh my God.
My wife got a bottle of perfume, if you really wanted to say, but this is the best. And housewarming only refers to celebrating a new place.
Oh, it's already 5:55.
Oh, but I'm glad that you're, feeling better after your slight
Yes.
problem.
Even this morning, as soon as I woke up, I felt kind of lethargic and hopeless from this pain. But now I'm feeling much better. Probably thanks to you.
It's demoralizing, right? It's demoralizing, right? It's demoralizing, right? Yeah.
Demotivating?
Same.
Yes,
same,
demoralizing.
yeah,
Quite demoralizing. It's not excruciating pain, but constant, never temporary, long-lasting pain that makes me, demoralized quite often.
Exactly right.
But I believe from my experience, it will go away within 2 to 3 days. So, don't worry. And thank you for another great class today as
You're
well.
very welcome, man. Are you playing football tonight?
Oh no, because of this bad condition, I might have to take a rest.
It's a good idea.
Yes. So how many classes left for today?